President Yoweri Museveni said the African-rich heritage, which is manifested in music, musical instruments, dances, oral literature, songs, cultures and traditional ceremonies should be fully developed, documented and preserved to enrich communications and benefit future generations.
Africa, stand up and be proud. We have everything from wealth creation to rich language to the strong culture of exogamy and strong patrilineal families and to beauty of skin and hair. We do not have to ape anybody. Tetulina kwenyoma.
The president, accompanied by the First Lady, made the remarks while launching Omufunga Eizooba, a traditional music album on Sunday, 6th November 2022 at State House, Entebbe. His Excellency the President says the African population, currently at 1.3 billion, has within it the most ancient portions of the human race, 4.5 million years old, and 4 nations according to linguistic classifications. The 4 nations are the Niger-Congo, comprised of the Bantu, the Nilotic Saharan, the Nilotics, and Nile Hamites. He noted that within each branch there are clusters and subclusters with common words among groups that live thousands of miles apart. The Omufunga Eizooba tradition music album, put together by the Heritage Foundation, comprises of 16 songs composed many years ago but had remained undeveloped due to the unsettled colonial times. Some songs, according to the president, were resurrected by a young woman by the name of Maga, who was the core of his music group and always stayed near him at the High Command Inner Compound in Ngoma, Nakaseke. He added that ever since the Bush days, he was recording these songs, and his librarians were drivers who would lose some of them along the way, but to their credit, especially one called Byaruhanga, many were kept.
And my librarians were my drivers of my car, who would lose some of them along the way, but to their credit, especially one called Byaruhanga, many were kept. Recently, Natasha and her able aid Ataho managed to get from my drivers a total of about 119 tunes spanning the 2 centuries, from 1890s to the present. Music is excellent. This is music and not noise. I see some groups making noise, they call it music. But this is real music. It is the main music in my cars when I'm driving, plus some religious tunes and NRM songs. The content is excellent, dealing with contemporary social or political issues. The language is so rich. I used the songs to get vocabulary to enrich our katondos.
The head of Heritage Foundation, Mrs. Natasha Karugire, thanked the President and the First Lady for being at the forefront of promoting culture. She, however, noted that among Christians, there is and has always been some kind of aversion to the old sounds in the traditional music and poetry.
Growing up, my siblings and I always listened to the old songs that Mzee kept. We would be at the dining table with Mzee and Mama, and Mzee would often spontaneously break into singing, into song. And I'm going to try my best to. Eshmwandema vagoranshonga, mwandema vazasya rugamba, something like that. Mama, for her part, often told us traditional folk tales as young children and taught us the do's and don'ts of our culture.
On the other hand, President Museveni challenged Ugandans to use their rich cultural heritage and reject the pathetic phenomenon of self-hatred that the Africans, especially the women, developed on account of the inferiority complex created by the colonial trauma. He said many of the songs inform us of the element of beauty that is, for instance, appreciated by the Banyankore. The Bishop of North Ankole Diocese, Reverend Stephen Namanya, thanked President Museveni through his book Katondozi and the First Lady for promoting culture that Ugandans and Africa should be proud of. The ceremony was attended by, among others, the ministers, Frank Tumwebaze, Minister of Agriculture, Animals, Industry and Fishery, Alice Kaboyo from Luwero Triangle, the United Nations Resident Coordinator, Susan Namondo, members of Parliament and service chiefs. Grace Nabukenya, live at 8.